going to be some things on this list that I feel like Konami should address. And there's going to be some things on this list where I think Konami should just take into consideration of, like, I know they're trying to push product, but I also believe that they really should hit just for the health of the game, right? And I don't really think Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, currently in the TCG, is in a very bad spot. But moving forward, I think they should hit some of these cards now to kind of give other decks a fair chance. And funny enough, Mermail has been doing a very good job over like the last couple like tournaments and stuff like that. So I'm going to start with like Mermail hits because I really like Mermails. I really do. I actually have a max core in my binder right now, and I don't know if it's better than Blue Eyes or not. It might be in the same tier as Blue Eyes. So the first card I want to hit, honestly, and again, I don't think Konami is going to hit this card. I really don't think they will, but I honestly think Moon Glacia should go to 0. Yeah, so I think Moon Glacia is like a fair hit because on top of like the Mermail inboard, if they like pretty much go full combo, this on top of, you know, the inboard with like Toads and, you know, just other interruptions that can potentially stop you, like Dweller and stuff like that. Moon Glacia being just like the one that just like rips 2 out of your hand is insane. Really insane. So I don't know if Mermails need any more hits outside of this. But I really think this card probably definitely needs to get hit because I think Mermail is a really cool deck, but I think hand looping is really, really crazy. So again, wish list. Hopefully this maybe gets addressed, maybe not. I don't think it will, but this is something I personally like to get hit on the list if it does happen. So yeah. Also moving on to the next deck on the list, which I think Ryzeal in some capacity will get touched on the ban list. And this is the first thing that comes to my mind is X Ryzeal to Uno. I think X Ryzeal is probably kind of just going in the same footsteps as like OCG. It's a very good starter. It's also just a great way of going second. It's extremely strong. And I don't know how else to really hit the engine. Maybe you can probably talk about like Detonator to 1, but I mean, I don't know. I think every other card in this engine is like kind of okay. And also the deck is pretty new. So we're not going to try to like destroy the deck, but I think the consistency can probably go down just a little bit. So I think this is going to be a card that will probably get hit to 1 on the list. Another card that I thought about maybe also going to 1 is Bonfire. Bonfire might be another consistency hit they may receive because they technically got another consistency card in the form of the Tachyon card, the Tachyon spell card. I feel like I can see that pretty much getting hit because they want to have more of the Ryzeal players kind of like go in that direction with the way to play the Ryzeal deck. So I can technically see this. This is going to definitely hurt me because I still believe in Snake Eyes. And even though it's not really showing much play in today's meta, but Bonfire pretty much rips that deck. So if they do go with the Bonfire hit, they will probably just, you know, they're going to just cook Snake Eyes with this hit. So, but yeah, I feel like this is a pretty okay hit for Ryzeal. I don't think the deck is like overpowered by any means, but I feel like something needs to be done to kind of like weaken them a little bit. So I thought that was a good hit. Speaking of other cards that I feel like need to be hit because of Ryzeals is Dweller. Again, this is like another OCG hit. I think Dweller is a very strong card to get knocked into the ban section. It's just too oppressive. A lot of decks nowadays use their graveyard as like kind of like their resource loop game. A lot of cards have graveyard effects, like Ryziel's, for example. Like even in the mirror match, Aggregator doesn't really have a way to kind of like help break the board because Dweller even cuts that off. It also helps beat Fiendsmith. It also helps beat like Mermails. Even like stuff like White Force. They can't even get their spells that triggers in the graveyard and stuff like that. So I think Dweller honestly is a strong hit. It's a good card. I always thought this card would have got banned a while back. So yeah, I think that would be a fine hit. So my next deck I'm going to look at is Malice. And I feel like Malice is in a weird spot where it's like it's a strong deck going first, but it's a very hard deck to go second with. And the first thing that comes to my mind is putting Dormouse to 1. But at the same token, I don't think I want to hit any of the Malice main deck monsters. But I can see this happening if they want to try to hit something in Malice that's like main deckable. But I think how Snake Eyes got hit on their first list, I think they're going to hit cards around Malice, right? So I think the engine itself right now is safe, but I think Allure of Darkness is going to probably go to 1. Just kind of like a consistency hit. Now, a lot of decks are not playing Allure of Darkness, but when they get the new support in Alliance with the added Nister cards, it's going to boost the consistency and also make the deck probably going second very strong and also going first very strong. So I think limiting this is probably maybe a good hit. I really think Malice in the next format is going to be the best deck, but this is probably a nice little way to hit that. Maybe you could also probably hit Gosark as a card, but I think Allure of Darkness to 1 is a fair hit. Another hit that's not like directly Malice, but also I thought about it probably needs to go, and I've been saying this for a while, but I think I even said it on my last ban list prediction that I think Magmamu, it's just time for him to go. He's seeing a lot of play, obviously, in Malice. He's been seeing a lot of play in Blue Eyes because you can go Bystial on your opponent's turn, hit it like a Fiendsmith card, put a body on board. It gets an effect to search, and you can search for the Barrel, which is a starter in Blue Eyes. It can just do a lot of stuff, man. So I really think that Magmamu kind of needs to go. It probably won't happen, but personally, me, I just will like it if this card goes. And I love Bystials. I love Bystials. It will definitely hurt, like, the... Oops. I didn't even know I could do that. It will definitely hurt the Lubellion regain loop. But honestly, this card is just insane. It basically says I'm 2 bodies. A lot of pressure. Is like a +1, usually a +2 if it resolves its effect. It usually stops as a hand, like it's a hand trap. It puts a body on board and it searches. Card's crazy. If it only searches Bystial cards, it wouldn't have been as bad. But it searches for any dragon. This card will never not see play in any format ever. So I just think that maybe we can hit it to like 0. It won't happen, but again, I think it should. Link Dakota is a good hit. The only reason why I don't think Link Decoder is going to get hit because it's going to directly support the added Nister cards. It's that new cyber stuff that's like coming out, and I think that card is going to help promote people to like buy those packs. So I don't think it's going to get hit yet, but if Malice becomes like obviously a big deal and a big issue, I can see that card getting banned. Oh, you really think they're just not gonna limit Druis? They could limit Druis. I think they should do both. I almost feel like if they do limit Druis, maybe Magmamu could stay limited. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they would probably do both. What if they limit Magmamu? Or sorry, ban Magmamu and limits Druis Worm? Okay, you know what? Yeah, I feel that. You know what? Sure, why not? You convinced me, guys. Magmama can stay. I don't hate the card. It is very, like, tilting sometimes to get hit by it when you're, like, the one Bystial you don't want to get hit by. I can see. Let's just limit Druis Worm. All right, you know what? We'll limit the Druis Worm, okay? We'll do that. I think that's fair, right? My favorite card and your favorite card is Shifter. So I'm okay with Shifter either being banned or to 1. But Shifter at 3 is crazy. It's crazy. This card literally sweeps rogue decks. Like, it's insane, right? Malice obviously being a tier 1 deck in today's meta and utilizing Dimensional Shifter to like hit the Fiendsmith stuff and things of that nature. Honestly, this card needs to be addressed. I'm going to be nice and I'm going to put it to 1. Kind of like, I think it is it at 1 in OCG and is it at 1 in the Master Duel? I know it's at 1 in Master Duel. And I honestly have not been Shifter once, and I'm happy about it. And I have one against a fair amount of Kashtira players. But I mean, I'll take it, right? I'll take it. But I think Dimensional Shifter should definitely not be more copies than 1. So I'll put it here for right now. All right, so I guess those are the top 3 decks. Blue Eyes obviously not going to get touched. I think Blue Eyes is a fine deck. I don't even think Blue Eyes is broken. I think it's fine. Then now what I want to do now is hit staples. And again, you guys are probably not like me for this. Not gonna like me for this. But I think Call by the Grave and let's see, Cross Out. I think I don't know if Cross Out should be banned yet. I think it at 1 is completely fine. But I think these cards right now in today's meta, it's already hard going second in Yu-Gi-Oh! So in my defense with this, I almost feel like in every single meta deck that goes first, even like in the Snake Eye format, right? If I open like 2 1-card starters, one can be an extender if the main starter gets stopped, and then I draw a combination of Call by the Grave or Triple Tactus. Well, actually, speaking of Triple Tactus, I might put this up here too. Again, this is a wish list, guys. This is not like Konami has to do this. But I just think that it'll be really interesting to see if these cards technically get hit to a different number, right? I just kind of want to not let the person going second having hand traps get punished because your opponent opened the non-engine to stop you, right? So if I have like Snake Eye Ash, or I guess a full Raizio combo or a full Malice combo, and you just happen to have Call by the Grave or Cross Out or Talents, and you hand trap your opponent, it almost seemed like you have to draw like either multiple or more hand traps. It usually takes 2 hand traps to stop a meta deck normally. Well, Cross Out, you got to have 3 hand traps. And the likelihood of you drawing 3 hand traps and not breaking, or if they still make a half board, it's just so crazy. And if you don't even get hand trap with Call by the Grave, you can just set it and it can be another interruption on your opponent's turn. I just think that we should make Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, people that goes first in Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't give them like the auto win cards, right? I don't like the auto win cards that just kind of like, oh, I draw this, my opponent better have like a plan A and a plan B to stop me. And I just don't want to, you know, I just think these cards should be definitely hit. And Cross Out, I honestly think it's kind of crazy is at 3 because in the mirror match, it definitely shines the most in those particular situations, on top of it being a, you know, it's just like a different Call by the Grave in the mirror match. It's like so hard to push through if you cut off engine cards with this. It's pretty good. It's pretty insane. But I don't know. Again, I don't think Call by the Grave is going to get banned. I don't think it will. I think it's going to stay at 1. But I think personally, I would prefer this card to go to 0 because I don't know. I think it's a really broken card, and I just think it should go. And Cross Out is just crazy. I may not really mess with the semi-limiteds and limited cards because, again, I feel like if Bonfire gets hit to 1, I almost feel like I can see Snake Eye Ash coming back to 3. That doesn't sound too crazy because Snake Eye Ash normal summon is not that good because you just hand trap it once and it's just kind of like rip. Poplar still at 1, and Bonfire's at 1, so you can't get hit with the Snake Eye Ash effect. Oh, Valor, and then you go Bonfire. That's gonna happen a lot less. And I'm talking about Snake Eyes like it's relevant, but and Black Witch that can't set the original, so like maybe I can see them trying to like bring back Snake Eyes like that if I want to do something like the semi limits. D barrier, I can see D barrier. Let's talk about barrier. So you guys think that should go to 1 or should just go to 0? I forgot to talk about the Fiendsmith stuff. Let's talk about Fiendsmith. All right, we're gonna keep dimensional barrier right here for now. Oh yeah, the Fiendsmith stuff. Yeah, we need to talk about that. Yeah, I didn't even think about Moon. I forgot about the Fiendsmith stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna type in Engraver here, or Fiend. Now, there's a couple of things, and it's so hard to hit the Fiendsmith stuff without like killing it straight out. But I don't know. I think this card has to go. I really think it has to go. It's a common and a super. It's not expensive. It's not gonna hurt your wallets if you get banned. I think the Fiendsmith stuff, I think the Fiendsmith cards are very, very healthy. I think Fiendsmith promotes, as a gnat in my room, I think it promotes really like good gameplay. I honestly think it promotes very strong and very healthy gameplay. What the Fiendsmith engine, what is toxic about it is how you can hand trap your opponent once, you hand trap your opponent twice, haha, 2 monsters, make a Moon. I think is the accessibility of the Fiendsmith engine is what makes it broken. That's the biggest issue with me currently with the Fiendsmith engine. Hard drawing Fiendsmith engine is like, it's whatever, right? Like you draw it, cool, that's fantastic. But I really think Moon, unfortunately, it was never used for its intended purpose. And I don't think it's going to be missed by anybody if you do use Moon for its intended purpose, which I doubt, right? You're playing Moon of the Closed Heaven, you're playing Fiendsmith for the most part. And yeah. Obviously you can't hit Engraver, you can't hit any of the links. They don't really like this. Will just kill Fiendsmith. This will also just kill Fiendsmith. I can see arguments of Track going to 1. I can see arguments of Engraver going to 1. I can see arguments of Engraver going to 2. I don't think Engraver going to 2 is like super. It doesn't do much, but maybe with this hit and this hit, maybe that's enough. Keep track of it, like whatever. But I feel like if you do this, I think people are going to start playing multiple tracks in their list, right? So they're going to start playing like triple Track, maybe double Engraver, so they can just hard draw the cards. Maybe I can see a world in that. But maybe that's, I mean, again, that's not bad. It's not healthy. I just think what's really broken about the Fiendsmith engine itself is just the sheer fact that you can just turn it into, you can pretty much make it consistently through any combo. And I think that's like insane. D barrier. So where do you guys think D barrier should go? You guys think D barrier should be banned, or you guys want to put D barrier limited? It's a ban worthy card, right? I think it should be banned. Yeah, I think this is pretty solid. We addressed Fiendsmith, which is the most popular engine. We kind of like dumbed down going first in Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's a lot easier for people going second. I know the Mo Charmies are going to be crazy. And I also heard people talk about putting all the Charmies to like semi-limited, which I don't know if that's something that Konami agrees with. But I think right now, especially since they're getting reprinted, I think they're going to stay at 3. I don't know if they're going to ever be addressed in the future. But I don't really hate the Mo Charmy cards. They can be really annoying, but I feel like if you know they exist in the format, you can play your deck to build around the Charmy cards so you can have a plan B. I really think this card can come back. Like, there's cards that are on the ban list that shouldn't technically be on the ban list, but I feel like at least if anything needs to come off, I feel like Link Kariba can come back, right? I don't think he served his prison time on the list. Snake Eyes is no longer abusing this card. I mean, bring my boy back. I really do like Linkuriboh. I think he's a cool boy. Bring him back. All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to be it for the list here. Yeah, again, if you guys have any more, changes or things you would like to see to the ban list, or if I missed something completely outright, which I don't think I did, yeah, let me know down in the comments down below. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.